We can start recording now. So another thing is, if you are relying too much on one source of income, there is a high chance that you're going to struggle in this phase. You're not going to move to the next phase. So another thing is the impact of lifestyle and economic situation. So you can be financially stable, but if you are not careful, lifestyle inflation is going to take it. There are a lot of people that you're maybe earning 100K and then you get an increase in salary, 150K. And before you know, that 150K is no longer enough for you. In fact, we know we have been complaining the economy is bad. I can tell you, I kid you not, within the past 6 months, as much as there's been inflation, there are people that have received increase in their income and all of that. But if you do not manage lifestyle inflation, my dear, if you are trying to impress your village people, you are going, in fact, you might even go back to financially broke. Another setback is unexpected expenses. If, for instance, you do not have an emergency fund and you're not able to absorb unexpected expenses, you might hang in this place for too long, or you might even find yourself back into being. Another one is your risk tolerance and appetite. So this is like two-way. If, for instance, you have a very high risk, you see yourself maybe jumping into things that look like investment when they are not investments. And there is a high chance that you could lose your money as a result of doing that. Another one is if you have a very low risk appetite, there's a chance that you're going to stay where you are because you're too afraid to invest your money, you're too afraid to go to the next stage. So as much as it's okay to be financially stable, you have to be very due for attaining and achieving your financial goals. And I would say the best part is being financially empowered. So you can like call this more like financial freedom. In fact, there are a lot of stages, but I clustered it into one. So these are the people that you want to say that they are very happy, comfortable with their financial situation. They can probably rate it a 9/10, a 7/10. And one thing about you should know is financially empowered for everybody is different. For somebody, it's 10 million they need. Another person is 50 and all of that. But one thing they have in common is they have several sources of income, not just their job, not just their full-time job. They probably have investments. Speaking of investment, they have several investments that they are getting money from. They have businesses. They have a lot of things that they're generating money from. Another thing is they probably have debt. In fact, most of them have debt, but they can afford to pay the interest, everything on satisfactory lifestyle. So I say this is subjective, but most people that are financially empowered are okay with where they are. They can do whatever they want to do whenever they want to do it. And I think this is basically what we are all striving for, but it takes a while. So people that are here are also here because of their mindset. Please check your mic. Somebody is talking. Okay, I think we are good. So most people that are here are because they also have enabling mindset. Some of the mindset is, oh, sorry. This is hanging a bit. Give me a minute, let me share again. Okay, 1 second. Yes, so one of the mindsets they have here is, oh, what is happening? Okay, sorry, let's go back here. Sorry, are we together? So sorry for the distractions. Yeah. So some of the mindsets that people have here is, one is they're always planning for their future. So they're not like short-term thinking, they're very forward thinking, planning for retirement, planning for how they are going to meet all of their financial goals and all of that. So they're always moving. Another thing about people here is they always know how to balance their immediate gratification with their long-term goals. So I know we have a lot of desire, but people that are here, if you want to become financially empowered, you should know when to delay some things. You should know when to prioritize, you know how to do all of this. Another one is more like, depending on what stage they are, you can find them, people that are very, very generous, all those, in fact, people, the non-philanthropists come under this segment, right? So they want to make impact because now they are very comfortable with where they are and they want to start reaching out to other people and empowering them too. So let's have a quick question. And this time around, I'm going to be in the comment section. So what stage are you financially? From the three that I mentioned, do you think you're broke? Do you think you're halfway into being financially stable? Or will you call yourself financially empowered? So we'll know if you are the one that is going to sponsor our giveaway. Please drop the answer in the comment section. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Ah, come on. Are we still having people that are so broke? Ah, oh my goodness, we are broke. Now, anyways, I'm going you covered. Oh my goodness. I thought I would see some people that are financially stable. Don't tell me landlord used to come and knock your door before you pay rent. Or you're always owing your sister money. Please, I need to see somebody that is financially empowered that will sponsor a giveaway. Keep your answers coming in now. I am waiting. Ah, okay. We are still broke and unstable. Auntie, is even the two. Anyways, me, I'm going to say myself, I'm going to tell myself that I am financially stable, and I want that for you, to be very honest. So I also want that for you, and that is why, okay, we have somebody that is financially stable. Oh, we are going to go ahead. We're going to do more. We're going to do more. Okay, so I don't know why this keeps hanging, but then here with me. Oh, come on, yes. All right. So now that we've identified all of these spaces, how in financial wellness? Most of us are broke. How can we go from being broke to being financially stable, and then from being financially stable to being financially empowered? Because it's like it's a map. Like we have to go from one place to another, and it's basically, I've summarized it in 4 major areas. The first one is financial discipline. Financial discipline is the way you'll be able to live within your means. How can you achieve this? If you want to be financially disciplined, if you want to be financially responsible, you need to adopt budgeting. So I'm not going to dwell too much on budgeting because we have a whole webinar on that next week, a budgeting masterclass. You don't want to miss that. Another way you can be financially disciplined is by saving stringently. You need to save to be able to fund the things that you want to do. And the thing is, for instance, maybe you want to, let's say, buy a house, or you want to enroll in a course. The money is not just going to come once. You cannot get that lump sum once, except you're really getting a lot of income from your job. Otherwise, you have to save very hard for you to be able to fund the next thing on your list. Another one is you must eliminate wasteful financial habits. So the thing is, when it comes to financial wellness, one of the things we need to learn how to do is to first start by controlling what we have. And what you're in control of is your expenses. You can tell your money, you can direct the outflow of your money. Why? Because for your income, it cannot really change within a day or 2 days, except your employer increases your income, you have side gig. But one thing you can start with is what is within your control. What you spend your money on is within your control. And you can maximize that by eliminating wasteful financial habits. And you can also do that by finding a balance. It's not every month you are going to go to a very expensive restaurant, or it's every month you go to a beach with your friend or a party. You need to know how to prioritize. What am I going to do this month? What am I going to do next month? When should I do it? When should I do that? Now, after instilling some level of financial discipline, the next thing you want to look at is how can I increase my income? Because you're limited to how much you earn to some extent. If you don't increase your income, you will not be able to save more, you will not be able to do more. A way you can do this is by creating alternative sources of income. People used to say, it's difficult to create alternative sources of income. My dear, if you are very valuable, as far as you have a BSc degree, in fact, even while you are in school, you can have alternative source of income. There is handwork. There are people that are earning money from making writing projects for people, doing a lot of things. There are always ways. And if, let's say, you're a graduate, you're working, you can start thinking of how can I render services with this skill? Can I consult in this area? Can I start a business? You have to go from, you cannot keep surviving on one source of income. You must, in fact, it's now a necessity. It is now a necessity because your expenses is going to keep increasing. If you don't follow that, if you don't match up that speed, then you're going to keep being financially poor. And then another way you can increase your income is by investment. We're going to look a bit about investment later. And then one thing we underestimate is upskilling. To be very honest, one of the best things you can do for yourself is by investing in yourself, by upskilling, so that you can increase your earning capacity. For instance, you get employed as a trainee or an entry-level staff. Over the years, where you become better at what you're doing, you add on more certification, it is much more easier for you to negotiate for an increase in salary, or for you to move to the next big job, or even enter tech and all of that. So you need to continuously upskill. And it's something I do, it's something I preach, it's something I practice. Upskilling, it's a must. Now, the next thing that can help you attain financial awareness is having a safety net. I like to call it safety nets. Other people call it emergency fund. So now one thing about safety net is it's going to help you. It is going to help you a lot. If I stop looking at it as emergency fund, because when you say emergency, you're going to be like, I don't want emergency zone. If you say for rainy days, it will rain. Very true, it will rain. So I don't call it emergency fund. I kind of call it like a buffer or a safety net. Advocate for mental well-being, work-life balance. And if, for instance, I find myself one day and I'm like, I'm tired of this job, I want to do something else, I should be able to fund it. I don't want my decisions to be financially related. Maybe I have a job offer and I'm comparing it solely because of the money that I'm going to get from it. So a safety net can help you make rational decisions that are not subjective to the money that they are going to give you or how much you're earning. I'm the kind of person that I advocate for you to be able to work out where you want to work out, do things where you want to do. Don't be confined to limited choices. And if you always want to have options, there is always options. If you want to be somebody that creates options for yourself, then you need to have a safety net. Another thing that can help you is insurance. Insurance is very, very underestimated. It's something that's not very, very common like that in Nigeria, but then it's very handy. Thankfully, I've worked in a corporate environment and it has made me see the benefit of insurance. One time my friend was sick and then we had to go to the hospital after spending all our money. In fact, it was sometime last year, we were preparing for fasting. We've spent all our money for feeding and all of that, only for her to feel sick. And then we go to the hospital, she has to pay for this, she has to pay for that. To be very honest, what Elle does at that period was because she had HMO plan. She had HMO very, very affordable, as low as 5K and all of that. So you cannot be working 24 hours and not expect your body to maybe break down some point or feel. So insurance, not just health insurance, maybe you have an asset, car insurance, all of those things, it can help you. So you don't have to be running to family members at any point in time, whenever you have issues. And then most importantly, continuous improvement. And this you can attain by financial education. For instance, you are doing what you being here means you are actually interested in making things better, to improving your situation, right? So how can I manage my money? How can I prioritize my expenses? Oh, how can I do this better? If you're always curious about doing that, then you can adopt most of these things. So you cannot start this year saying that, hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, so
yes, we can.
Okay, thank you, because I realized that since my network was a bit unstable.
Yes,
So please, if you're not hearing me at any point, let me know. So another thing is setting SMART goals. So you cannot start the year saying that you have money. You have to have what you're saving the money for, or how much you want to save. I want to save 500,000 by September. I want to save for my ICANN examination, or I want to pay off this debt, or you want to put timelines, you want to put maybe amounts. Those are the things that will motivate you, and you can be assessing yourself. Am I progressing? Or I want to save 500,000 as of February. I have like 150 or I have 100. You can tell that, oh yeah, you're progressing. So if you want to attain financial awareness, you have to adopt. You have to invest in increasing your earning capacity. You have to create a safety net for yourself. And you have to continuously improve your capabilities. And lastly, debt management. So one thing you don't want to joke with is gbese. You don't want to be in too much gbese, because at the end of the day, have too much debt, it makes it more difficult for you to even move from being broke to being empowered. So one of the things you want to prioritize is settle all your debts. People that you're owing money, give them money. You don't want to every time pay, and then they are disgracing all of your family members because you're unable to pay your debts. So you have to prioritize it. When you're not owing people money, you can breathe in more relaxed, more refreshed for you to now start helping your own self. So let me see if we have any questions so far. Yusuf, are you serious? If I'm too fast, please somebody can just say it. I'm so sorry about that. Somebody is owing his girlfriend. Please try to pay the person, right? Try to pay the person. All right, I think we don't have any questions. So now we are going to look at savings. So this is very, very important. A lot of people think maybe they are the same team, but they are not entirely the same team and not too far from each other as well. Okay, this is Angin again. Okay, so now let's look at savings. So basically, saving is more like you putting money aside every time. There is this saying that they say, a part you earn is yours to keep. So that part that you keep is what we call savings. So you're keeping money aside, maybe a portion of your income regularly, maybe in a savings account, but then usually it's more of like you're trying to preserve your money, or you want to use your money to do something, to maybe invest at the end of the day, or to maybe purchase something and all of that. So when you keep your money aside, out of your money, if you earn 50,000 and every month you're keeping 10,000, and that 10,000 becomes 100, 200. The thing about saving is actually meant to be short term, and that's short to medium term. You want to save for, I want to travel in 6 months time. I want to enroll for something in 5 months time, something like that. They are usually low risk. By saving your money, if you do it the right way, the way you're supposed to do, then you are not supposed to lose your money. It's only when you make a mistake, when you do it the wrong way, that is when you can probably lose your money. So saving is supposed to protect your money, and it is easily accessible. When you need the money, you can get the money. And channels for saving is basically, you can use piggy bank. I am a big fan. Fixed deposit at times, adjust. So fixed deposit, you can access it through banks or bank apps like, let's say, iInvest. Ajo is thrift, like when you contribute money with people in lump. So that's a good way to save. And actually, it also comes in, have some setback, and that setback is inflation. So it could erode the value of your money. So we're going to look more about inflation next week, where we talk about budgeting. But one thing you want to do is, if, for instance, you have an investment that you are saving towards, you want to try as much as possible to hit that target as fast as possible, especially with the way there is inflation. So now let's look at investments. Jamila, do you mind dropping the message in the chat box that we're going to look at it in a few minutes? So now when it comes to investments, while saving is you keeping your money aside, investment is you putting your money to work. Like your money is earning returns, probably because you put that money in a business, or you put the money in yourself, although you might not expect to receive the return on that investment now. So investment is usually long term. So it's usually medium to long term. And then the return that you get on the investment, it depends on the kind of investment, because there are different kinds of investment. It could be a business, it could be real estate, it could be you purchasing a company's shares. Some are high risk, some are low risk. And also it depends, some might be easy to liquidate. That is when you need the money, it can be easy for you to pull the money out. But most times investment, it takes a while for you to be able to move your money out. Also because there's the fact that you should be able to think and be sure that you want to remove that money before you remove it. So unlike savings, investment is it's not easily liquidated. So examples of education, and as you can see, the first one I wrote is example of investment. The first one I wrote is education. So one thing I tell people is the first way you can invest in yourself, honestly, by upskilling, by investing in your earning capacity, because you are your biggest asset. You're the one that can generate income for yourself. Another one is maybe real estate, stock, bond. I'm not going deep into this. Like when you were filling the form, I also made mention that I wasn't going to talk too much about investment, because investment is one part of it, is one part of the whole financial wellness spectrum. And most people that I am talking to, that I am with, for instance, on this call, we are broke. You are broke means you're trying to survive. How can you be struggling to cater to your bills and say you are investing? There is stages to things. There is time to this. Take care of what is important first. Survive, stay afloat, be a bit stable before you now start thinking of, I want to go and buy stock that you will go and remove in 1 month's time and feed yourself. Yeah, right. That's not the situation we want. And that is why I'm also talking about the setbacks. So some of the setback is the timing of investment. You cannot be investing maybe when you are supposed to be saving. You cannot. I remember one time, I think like 3 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, I got to learn. That was when I started learning about shares and all of that. I have Bamboo app. I don't know if you know Bamboo app. Is an app for buying shares. I bought some shares, Tesla shares to be precise. Broke me was buying shares. I think I bought shares a few, maybe like 20K or so, for like 3 months to 6 months. There was now one time that I was very, very broke. I needed money. And one thing about me is I literally do not like reaching out to people for money. At the end of the day, to be very honest, I had to remove that money. And it also made me realize that I am in my survival phase. I am very, very broke. My priorities should be managing my debt. My priority should be investing in myself, not buying shares or buying, where can I even afford to buy real estate investment? So another thing is risk appetite. We want to invest, but we feel like, oh, I have a high risk appetite, and then you start gambling with your money. Those things that look like investment but are not investment, you will put your money there, and then it ruins everything. It takes you back. So I want to even give an example of something that happened to someone I know of recently. Because of the way this dollar thing is going, so he tried to do some kind of investment. So he called it investment, but it's not investment. I kid you not, at the end of the day, he lost that money that he was trying to earn returns from. He lost it. I have also lost money. I remember one time I invested in one agri-tech, whatever. I put my money there. I felt like I can handle it. So if you're not careful, if you don't mind what you do, if you feel like, oh, you can tolerate this, you can tolerate that, then actually it can take you back to a worse situation self. Another time is, it could be, like I said, low risk appetite, and you're like too afraid. It can also affect you. Another thing is people interchange trading for investment. Now, to give a little example, more like people that buy Bitcoins and all of that, yeah, actually, most times they are trading it. You want to buy these after a few months. You're not investing. That is not investment. Investment is usually over a long horizon. Like it takes some time. You want to see returns. If you want to see significant returns, then it's going to take a while. So what you are doing is 1 month, 2 months, 1 year, you are not investing, you are saving money. It's just the platform that differs. You're saving, you're not investing. And then another thing is, for those people that actually, let's say, investing, if your investment is concentrated in one particular thing, it can also affect you. Maybe all your money is in shares, and then the stock market goes down. What investment? Or your money is in maybe a property and you have a financial situation, you start looking for who's going to buy it, you end up selling it at a very low rate. So you want to diversify, you want to have different kind of investments. Number one is yourself, that you're investing in yourself, because yourself is going to always be your safety net too. So speaking of investment and savings, we might want to think of what is ideal, what should I do? And basically, some of the things you want to do is prioritize building a safety net before allocating funds for investment. Now, why is this important? If, for instance, you have a financial situation, you don't want to go and withdraw your shares, like I say, sell it like I did, or do something like that. You want to have a safety net or a buffer that you can go and remove money from, so that if you even have an investment, you don't have to go and liquidate it after 2 years or after 3 years. That's not the plan. It's an investment that you wanted to do for 5 years, but because you could not absorb a financial situation, you had to go and remove it. So have a safety net before you start thinking of the long-term one. Another thing is, if stability, like most of us on this call now, if stability is our priority, what we want to do is to save first. or maybe in a transitional phase. For instance, I kind of like anticipated a major change. I used to be in Lagos up until last year, but part of me just felt like I'm probably not going to be here for too long. If I had invested the money that I was managing there or I was saving there, I probably would have not been able to take up the next opportunity that comes because it needed money. So I was careful to not go and lock my money somewhere because I was anticipating that I'm probably going to change my job. I'm probably going to make a significant change or something. I don't want to do something that I will not feel handicapped and stuff. So another thing is if it's short term, like I've already mentioned, maybe like a vacation, you want to purchase an appliance or whatever, it is saving you want to do, not investment and all of that. But investment is going to be basically for your long-term goals. Maybe you want to create money, you want to maybe a fund for your child and all of that. So all of those major things like your retirement and all of those things, it is investment. So basically what I'm trying to say is if you're trying to survive, if you are not yet financially stable, you want to save money. Why are you saving that money? To enroll in a course, to move outside of your comfort zone, to be a job. In fact, changing job is expensive. It comes with money. I remember when I had to leave Kano to Lagos, I spent money. It is not funny. But you ought to also have something to fall back on. You don't want to go and meet people and please come and borrow me money. In fact, whenever you have to meet people to help you fund something, the chances of that happening, it is 0 to none. Are they supposed to leave their own financial wahala and come and be settling your own? No, it means you are putting your financial situation in somebody's hand. You don't want that. You want to have something you can fall back on. And that is one thing saving money can help you. So I think we have some question in the chat box. Not the only broke people they save, Jamila. It's not only broke people that save. So the thing about saving is whenever you have, let's say, a big investment, you don't have the lump sum now. You don't have it. You have to build that money, maybe 6 months, 5 months. For instance, I want to travel and come home for me. I don't have the lump sum to pay my flight ticket. I do not have it. I'll probably have to save for 4 months or 6 months to be able to do that. So people that do not have that lump sum at every time, you have to save up for a while. Is that money that you also save that you end up investing? Is it 5,000 you want to be investing every save? When it's maybe 50, 100, when it's more significant, when it's more tangible, you'll be able to do it. For instance, you cannot start a business with maybe 5,000 naira, but if that money is 50,000, you can probably be able to go out. I remember one business I did last year, I was selling dates. It cost me less than 50,000 to start it. And I can tell you, I realized profit from that. So you have to say when the money is a bit significant, then you can use it to do the next thing on your list. So you mentioned about Ajoye. I see there's a question again about Ajoye. So it is very, very, very helpful. That's as long as you don't go and do Ajo contribution with people that will run away with your money. You have to be very careful. Another thing that also helped me when I was moving to my apartment was Ajo too. It was part of what I was able to use to repay the money I borrowed from a friend. So Ajo can come in handy. If you have something you want to use the money for at that point and you need the money to come first. In fact, it's one of the ways that you can use to manage inflation. Oh, I want to purchase this thing that is very important to me. But if I should save for 6 months, it's probably going to be double the amount. If you can do Ajo, collect number one, purchase that thing and keep paying your actual amount. That's like a very low debt way you get, but it has to be very logical. It has to be for something very good. So I hope we're together and can we move forward? Are we together?
Yes, we are together.
Okay, I am glad.
Thank you so much.
I don't know why this keeps hanging. I don't know why this keeps hanging. Let me see. A minute. Our slide doesn't want to move. Okay, let me share it again. Yes. So 1 second. Same thing. All right. So based on what I have said about the financial wellness part and about saving and investment, we can as well agree that some of the things you want to do, depending on your financial situation, which is most of us being broke and maybe a bit on also financially stable. Even if we're financially stable, we can do better. So one of the first things you want to do is by budgeting. Like I said, we're going to be having a budgeting masterclass. You don't want to miss it for anything. So once you budget your money, you can control and direct how you want to spend your money. It is very, very essential. The next one is to dig out of debt. For most of us that are broke, if debt is on that list, you want to go out of it. Budgeting can help you. It can tell you that, okay, I think I can be paying back 10,000 every month or 50,000 every month. You want to prioritize this. The next one is saving money. Why? Because saving money you use to increase your earning capacity. That's the word, increasing your earning capacity. If you want to be able to do more, you need to save and enroll for that course that is going to increase your earning capacity. Or you need to save and start that business that is going to help you and all of that. And then the next one is to increase your income through that saving. So you see, this first 4 items is what will take you from being broke to becoming financially stable. And then when we have achieved that, that's when we're going to now start talking about you investing money, you adopting the use of insurance and all of that, and then estate planning or will and all of that. We've not got into that phase, but we want to get to that phase that we have so much that we have to use a will to map everything out. That we want to plan for our future generations and all of that. So what you want to prioritize for now is, based on the roadmap, is you want to learn how to start budgeting, how to eliminate debt, how to save up so that you can increase your income. Once you have this in check, you can now start gradually investing, insurance, and all of that. I hope we're together. So we are almost at the end. We're almost at the end. So I want us to look at some values that can help you, because you have to be your biggest motivator. There are some things that you need to be putting in place if you really want to transition from stage 1 to stage 2 and to stage 3. And one of that value is you need to have an abundance mentality. There are no jobs, but people are getting jobs. Jackpot is expensive, but people are jackpotting. No money for wedding, but people are spraying money in wedding. You can be part of those people. Where you feel like there is no job, you're going to keep staying where you are. A lot of us are too afraid. We're afraid of unknown. We feel like there is no this, there is. Me, I've said there is, and I want to be part of those people. So when you realize that there is, and you want to be part of those people that benefit from it, I kid you not, you're going to be more intentional about it. So there is money out there, there is job, there are opportunities out there, and you can be part of the beneficiary. You don't need to have 5 head or 7 head. You can't, there is, you need to go. So those people that tell you that accept that job, many people will like to be in your situation. Let them go and be there. You deserve more, and you can do more, and you can get more. So if you don't mind your cycle, they will keep making you have this mentality. So monitor your cycle. You want to be with people that are going to let you understand that you can do more, you can be more. So strive for it. Another thing is learn to live within your means. Learn to be contented with what you have. You want to spend less, especially if you're broke. Why are you spending on things that will not matter? In fact, all those things you're buying are just minor craving. When you can do better, I'll go and go for vacation in Santorini or whatever. So you have to delay some now for later better enjoyment, more enjoyable enjoyment, if there is a word like that, right? And now you can do that by living within your means. All these unnecessary debt, you don't want to do that. Prioritize your needs. It's a matter of time. To be very honest, few years back, I was not really in a good phase in my life, but now I feel a bit better. I feel a lot better. I can breathe in, I can breathe out. I'm not too stressed. I'm not hanky-panky. I don't feel like, I'm not trying to impress my village people. You should stop doing that. If you want to do that, in fact, you see so many arguments like that on social media. People that cannot marry somebody that is any 800K. It's a lie. It's a lie. Don't do I pass my neighbor and do what you're not supposed to be doing. Have your own goals, prioritize, and strive for it. So another thing you want to do, I've said this severally, you want to invest in yourself. You want to invest in yourself. You are your biggest asset. I've put out some videos on my channel. There was one time I put a video about what skill will fuel on your ability to take on more risk. If you have skills, if you see yourself as somebody of value, my dear, you're not going to be too afraid. You're not going to be afraid to come out of your comfort zone. I tell people that worst case scenario, I will start doing accounting tutorial. I'll teach people bookkeeping. That is the worst of the worstest of the worstest. And because I know that I have that worst case scenario plan in my head, I feel more bold enough to take on it. In fact, moving from where I was last year to where I am, I had to think twice. I was like, can you do this? Do you want to do this? What is going to happen? What if something doesn't work out? What if something goes wrong? I say, if something goes wrong, I will survive it. I will be able to do it. So, and it's by investing yourself, knowing your capacity, knowing that worst case scenario, I'm going to take tutorials, or I'm going to sell this. I will open a salon or something. You already know that I have that skill, I have potential, I can do something. It will be able to make you move outside of your comfort zone. It will be able to make you go. For instance, you see a lot of people say, I don't meet all of these job specifications, so I cannot apply for it. My dear, apply for it. Apply. So push yourself. What is going to happen? What's the worst case that? Because at the end of the day, it's yourself that will take you out of any mess. It's yourself that is going to help you achieve your goals, your financial and non-financial goals. Another one is, I think I've mentioned this a lot too, is keep a part of all you earn. You cannot keep spending all your money. You get your salary now, you pay the Baba, you pay MTN, you pay NEPA, you pay water, you are paying everybody, you pay Mesuya, you are not paying yourself. You need to start doing that. So you need to set fund aside to cater to your goals. I want to go on a vacation. I'm going to start keeping what I have to do that. I want to switch job in 6 months times. I want to empower myself to be able to do that. I want to tapa in 1 year time. You want to empower yourself to be able to do that. In fact, it is more reasonable for you to say 1 million, or so far I've been able to save 700,000. Can you borrow me 300,000? I'll be able to pay. If you save, if you keep a part of all you earn, you'll be able to empower yourself to take on more, to do more, and all of that. And then finally, we cannot overemphasize the importance of setting financial goals. You want to set specific goals, realistic goals, and you want to stay focused to achieving it. One part of the reason why I wanted to leave my comfort zone in Kano to Lagos, like I had stayed an extra year in Kano. I have been in Kano all my life. I felt like I've stayed an extra year because I was contemplating too much, because I was so self-skeptical. I felt like, will I survive Lagos? Will I do this? But 1 year went by and I realized that after you have snooze. You're wasting time. What are you doing? Okay, now what did you gain? It's only your comfort you are getting in your comfort zone. I started setting goals for myself. I said, okay, this year, I want to go to Lagos. I want to be able to get a job here. I want to be able to do that. I was working very hard on it. I remember one time, in fact, during that period, I ended up getting like 2 offers, or even coming from somebody that felt like I couldn't get it. I got from places I would like to work to. At the end of the day, I was already in one. I was like, I like this one. I started setting goals. I was not like, I want to keep staying here. No, I don't want to stay there again. What I said was, I want to do this. After this, I want to do that. And the best part is when you will start setting goals, some will happen before you expect it. Some that you did not even anticipate will happen. For instance, some things I did not anticipate are actually happening. So when you set goals, it keeps you, it pushes you on track. It gives you that nudge that you need. Oh, there is something I am working towards, and I keep looking at it every time. It's going to motivate you. It's going to push you. You can also track your progress. Your headache is getting 50,000. If they say you should find 50,000 now, you want to cry. But this year, probably your headache is maybe 100,000. If they tell you 150,000, in 2 days, you should be able to get it. Which means you're growing, actually. You're growing. So if you set goals, you can track your performance and you can see that you are gaining traction, you're growing. So we are almost at the end of this session. And so this is actually a, hello, can you hear me? It feels like my network is a bit shaky. Can you hear
it's not. We
me?
can hear you.
Yes, we can
Thank
hear
you
you.
very much. So this is I'm going to drop the link here. This is actually a link. It's a write-up that I wrote sometime last year. So what it talks about is financially dependent a crime? Being financially dependent, is it a crime? To let you know that it is actually a crime. If you're reliant on people, it can lead to financial abuse. if you're not self-sufficient, it can lead to a lot of things that you do not want. It is more detailed when you check it out. So it talks about the dangers of being financially dependent on people. In fact, it's something that we have been experiencing when we are young. When our parents tell us that you have to read medicine, maybe when deep down you want to be a pilot or something, but you have to go and read medicine. If you have the money, you probably not read medicine, right? So you want to empower yourself so that you are not reliant on people. You cannot leave your comfort zone because you want maybe your mom or your dad to come and help you sponsor it and stuff. You should be able to do the things that you want to do. You don't want to be financially dependent on somebody. You don't want somebody to tell you, okay, do this before you are able to. Oh, I have a business, come and help me for this. Can you start it? Start it yourself. And then they'll be able to help you. So if you're waiting for somebody to come and cater to your financial responsibilities, my dear, that one is a long thing. If you are going to be maybe a financial situation, you think people will come through for you, they might not. And it's not because they are being selfish. It's because they're probably not capable. That's why sometimes we meet our loved ones to ask them for money and it feels like they are being aggressive, is because they too do not have that money. So when you ask them for money, it's like you're making them feel bad. It will make you stay too long where you are not supposed to be because you are being financially dependent on your job, on one source of income, on your parents, or maybe on your partner and all of that. You want to be able to do some things by yourself. So being financially dependent is a very big crime. And I'm going to share the link for you to read it. And I hope it encourages you to do more for yourself. And I'm going to leave you with this question. So one final question for reflection. How willing are you to invest in your financial wellness? Are you ready for that? Are you eager to do that? Anyways, I can tell that you are because you're here. But think deeply, is this something you're going to do? What are the things you're doing before that you have realized from those webinars that I need to stop doing, I need to stop doing that, or these are the things that I need to do? I think at this point, we can now answer your questions. Now I am ready for your questions. Let me minimize this.
Okay. I'm supposed to raise my hand.
Thank you much for your nice attention. At this point, I will be taking in questions. You can just raise up your hand or just drop it in the comment section. Please, Jamila, please go ahead. Yeah, please, Jamila, I can hear you. Hello?
I'm sorry, can I ask my question while we're still waiting for Jamila?
Yes, I think you can.
All right, thank you very much. And thank you very much for that wonderful session. I really learned a lot. Thank you. So my question is based on something that you posted on your status today. You said 5 signs you are financially unstable: living paycheck to paycheck, no emergency fund or saving, late bill payments, constant borrowing, ignoring financial goals. So I want to ask, is it when you tick all these 5 signs that you are financially unstable, or by just ticking one of it, you are financially unstable? Thank you.
It's not. Thank you for that question. So not necessarily ticking one, it could be more than one. So for instance, let's say you have debt and you are always struggling to pay your debt. Those might be the major 2 issues that you are having, and those are the things that makes you financially unstable. If you are able to tick those things that resonate to you the most, the things that you are experiencing, then you can transition from being unstable to being better. But then those other parts, for instance, you are very broke because you have debt and because you always struggle to pay your debt. And you start paying your bills efficiently, it means you are now on your way to being financially. You are doing better and you are making progress. And the next thing you want to do is now set goals for yourself. Oh, I want to have an emergency fund. I want to do this. I want to do that. So taking some of those leads is the way for you to start tracking your progress. Not that you are maybe totally financially broke. because you don't have debt this month doesn't mean you might not be debt in the next month. But if for a sustained period, you are a bit better, you don't have a lot of debt, you are not going through some struggles, that's a sign of progress, and it means you're transitioning at that point. I hope that answers your question, Olamide.
Yeah,
Hello,
it does.
Olamide.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It does. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Jamila, please go ahead.
You said something about insurance that I think I did not listen very well.
I can hear you clearly.
Sorry. I said you said something about insurance.
Yes.
So at what point should we consider that? Because I am currently trying to get insurance for myself, and I know that's also a way to save money, because the person trying to get me my account said that there's a particular insurance where you can save up for 3 years, maximum of 3 years, and you have 10% for each money you save. So my question now is, can I start saving, as in, can I start saving my insurance account while I pay off my debts, or I have to wait first to pay off my debts before I consider doing that for myself?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. So the thing is, it's a bit subjective. It depends to some extent. Why? Because as a result of embarking on that insurance, first of all, is there a plan or maybe like a goal that you want to enroll for after 3 years? Because you starting on that means you have to forfeit some things. For instance, maybe you have a course you want to enroll for, or there are other goals that you might have to do. But instead of prioritizing that one, now you have to be removing money every month for something that is long-term. So if it's going to stop you from doing some other essential things, that might not be the right course of action to take. Another thing is, when we look at ourselves, we have like a net worth. A net worth is more like your assets minus your liabilities and stuff. So how can you be having investment or assets? You still have that loan. When we do it at the end of the day, you're still going to have a net figure. So if maybe your asset is supposed to be like 100, it is 50, because that your investment minus your loan. That loan is always still there. That borrowing is always still there, and it's always going to be keeping your financial position at a particular point. But when I was also talking about insurance, there were another angle to it I was coming from. I was supposed to write more like health plan. We can call that one insurance. So that was something I was actually also looking at, in the fact that if we have, let's say, an health insurance, if you have, God forbid, an health-related issue, maybe even malaria, you don't have to start going to your emergency fund to take away from it. Or you don't have to start exposing yourself to family members and all of that, come and borrow me money. So that health insurance can offset, even if it's your drug bills, medical bills, and all of that. And that one, it's something you might even try to consider now, not necessarily later. So there are different forms of insurance and all of that. Somebody that has a car can do a car insurance so that it can protect his car asset or other form of investment. But for, if let's say it's an health one you want to do, it's something you could start now because it's not very significant. The amount is not too much, and it can go in handy. It's a way for you to manage your expenses. So go back to the question you were saying, that one you're talking about, it might stop you from being able to settle some other financial obligations that you have, or some other goals that you can prioritize. For instance, maybe anything that can help you increase your earning capacity, some of the things you want to go for now that you're financially unstable. Why? Because in 6 months' time, when you are no longer earning 100,000 and start earning 250,000, then you can afford to put in more towards your future. You can afford to do a lot better. So you don't want to have 50K and you're choking yourself. Yeah. What is the chances that you can be putting that amount consistently for 3 years? What is the chance? It might be very, very thin, right? So you don't want to constrain yourself. You don't want to put yourself into something you might not be able to handle for a long while. I hope that answers your question, Jamila.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
I am glad I was able to answer that. I think there's some question in the chat box. I want to look at that. Okay. Okay. Anyways, I think that's it. We don't have many more questions. Anyway, we're in the group chat. So if you have questions, you can put it in the group chat. Also, we're going to be having other sessions. Next week, we're having a budgeting masterclass next week. I am going to be showing you practically with a template how to create a budget for yourself, how to stick to it, how to make it become part of your life, not something to do. Also, during this week, I'm going to be sharing a book in the comment section. It's titled The Richest Man in Babylon. So I am hoping we're going to be able to read it together, but I'll try as much as possible to give us summary of each chapter, maybe every 2 days or so that we can look through it, pick out some financial nuggets in that book together. So we're at the end of our. Yeah, so I don't know, we still have like 5 minutes. Do we have more questions? If we did not have any questions, okay, I think there's a message in the chat box.
I have a question.
Yep.
So, I grew up in a place where there is little or even no financial knowledge when you are growing up. You just do things, you spend whatever you get on a freestyle basis. Now, when I grow up now, I realize that I have to learn the hard way. So what I'm finding difficult now is maybe end of the year spending that I need to do, such as maybe rent and other expenses that don't come always. So I don't, naturally, I don't save. Though what I used to do is whatever money comes, I buy something I keep in order to beat the inflation, because I'm not the type of people that will just buy maybe foreign currency and keep it so that I will beat the inflation. So doing that also, I see that whatever I buy and keep, let's say electronics or maybe bags of rice, and I keep it. At the end of the day, I will still end up losing, because no matter.
Hello? Hello, Hassan, I can't hear you. Okay, so guys, I dropped a link in the comment section. So we appreciate if you can take 1 minute to give a feedback. So it's a feedback form. I just shared it in the comment section. Yes, so kindly, yes, okay, no problem. We'll wait 2 more minutes. I think we still have time for those of us on the call so that we can take Hassan's question.
So, hello?
Yes, I can hear you now. I can hear you.
Right, so I will say maybe this year I don't have to save, I don't have to buy any stuff and keep. By end of the year, when end of the year bonus comes, I can be able to settle rent to do this. But again, when that time comes, I will realize that other unexpected spendings are coming. So everything will just come and jump back at one place. That is my own problem. If you can advise, please.
The question is a bit long, but I think I was able to pick out some things, which is the impact of inflation to like your finances, and then handling unexpected expenses. So if you see from some of the things I mentioned, there are ways that can help you, let's say, mitigate unexpected expenses. For instance, the budget that we're going to be looking at next week is going to show you how to account for stuff like that. And some of the way, for instance, that you're saving money, it's a way that you can use it to also mitigate unexpected expenses. You don't want things to happen and then you have to reach out to people to give you money and all of that. Another thing, you just want to put it maybe under your pillow or in a bank account, or the interest there is not really, really significant. For instance, maybe an app like PiggyVest or even RiceVest. RiceVest is a way for you to like save in dollars safely, right? So those are some like more better options that you can look at. But the thing about inflation is depending on how significant it is, one thing you want to start period, try to survive, prioritize your needs, prioritize your feeding expenses and all of that. If you want to buy items to keep, be smart about it. Maybe understand the market, know when to position it in the market. Maybe you buy rice or you buy some things that you want to sell, right? You want to know when it's going to be the right time for you to take it to the market where you're going to be able to generate returns and then roll the money. So you don't want to keep the money, should I say, idle. You're able to maybe get some items that you want to resell, try to sell it on time. Once you sell it, try to use that money to buy immediately again in a way that you can rotate it, right? So you want to try and do that. So another thing about, I think at some point you said something about dollars and stuff like that. To be very to do with the dollar is more like trading or trying to make short-term gains. And those short-term gains are literally just short-term. It will just help you do maybe one small bukata and that is it. It's not like it's not a form of investment. It's not a long-term thing. It's like we're trying to penetrate the loopholes in the system personally. I gave a brief comment about that during the session. There was somebody that tried to do that. He was trying to buy dollar at a subsidized rate. At the end of the day, it was the one that ended up losing his money. He got scammed. So we try to maybe penetrate those systems. It's not really a way for us to invest and stuff like that. It's okay for you to have maybe few money in those currencies, but what you are using those money to is what are you trying to increase your earning capacity? That is the number one thing that can really, really help you absorb all of these issues that you're going. Are you trying to find a side gig that you're going to be doing? If you are, the inflation is what is trying to make your expenses increase. Before you need 100,000 to feed, now you need 150 to feed, which means you need to increase your income too. That of inflation. If the inflation is running, you need to be running to go and beat it. You don't want it to pass you. And this is also when you reprioritize. There are some things that are unnecessary, discretionary spending, some things that you will have to forfeit for now. It's not like you're not going to do them, but you're just forfeiting them for a short while. Your priority is your feeding. Your priority is maybe a business or starting a business or rendering services, doing other things, establishing something for yourself. So basically what you want to do during this period is try to find extra sources of income for yourself. I hope that does some level of justice to this question.
Yes, thank you so much for the answers. Yes, thank you.
A bit about inflation next week, so try to join in next week too. I hope I'm not going to take too much of your time, so stay tuned. After that, I'm going to talk about how to eliminate unable financial habits, eliminate wasteful financial habits, and then we're going to wrap up this series by talking about how to set goals for yourself, how to move from stage to stage, from one point to another.
Thank you.
I am glad I was able to answer that. I don't know, do we have any last questions? Any questions?
That will be all for me. Thank you.
All right, so please take the time to fill the survey form that I dropped there. It was really exciting getting to do this with all of you. Thank you so much for joining the call. I really, really appreciate it. And do expect to see the because I did not start recording on time.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing your knowledge with us. Thank you for
joining. I look forward to doing this next week with you guys.
Same here. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Bye, Yusuf. Bye, Olamide. Bye, Miss Ahmed. Bye, Fetia. Bye, Musti, Amina. Thank you very much for joining.